That's how I start the videos usually. All right. Alrighty, so the Creator Clash happened yesterday as I'm recording this, and the stuff I've heard about it is honestly kind of insane. Not only is the concept questionable in its own right, just because when I first hear of Creator Clash, I kind of immediately think of, the top content creators that cover like this NASCAR 25. So I just figured like it would just be of those people. But as I was, looking around, checking the interwebs, it was like, okay, so it's for bigger creators than them. Okay, I was like, okay, understanding that, I can get it a little bit. I still question it a little bit, but if they want to broaden that demographic, the concept is fine. It's really all in the execution. If they literally just got everybody into a lobby and just raced, had a good time, yeah, I would be okay with it. I wouldn't really mind it, but the events that transpired is such a galactic shit show on proportions that, as someone that's been around as long as I have, is mind-boggling. Because we had the esports stuff with the NASCAR Heat 3, and that was a disaster. It was a mess. But that was actually, I mean, they at least were able to race. I mean, as much of a disaster that was, they at least were all in the same lobby and raced. This never happened. They tried to do it. I don't know if it's the game's invite system's broken, or they don't know how to operate the console, or whatever the case. I don't know how it gets fumbled this hard. Like, people couldn't accept invites. Lobbies couldn't work. I don't know how it got bastardized so badly. I really don't. It really just blows my mind how it just literally is. It was not a creator clash. It was just a clash, because there was no creators racing each other. It was just, they just went into online lobbies, which honestly, even as a last resort, I wouldn't do. Online lobbies, not in just this game, but in the pantheon of racing games since NASCAR 09 days. As someone that's been around with the NASCAR 09 days, well, okay, NASCAR 09 wasn't that bad, but you do not want to take your chances into an online lobby. For somebody that's just like an outsider looking at this, you don't want to go into online lobbies. And that's just what they did. And it showed the game in the worst element possible, because it just, everybody crashed, everybody was wrecking, and it was just a mockery. You can't try to make the game look amazing doing online races. You just can't. So it just made it look bad. Chat was making fun of it. It did nothing to really help the game, to help even the sport at large look better. It just was a bad look. A disgusting, nonsensically bad look that didn't need to happen. It just, honestly, I don't know why they're pushing this so hard on a game that just came out barely a month, not even a month ago. Why? It's just absolutely insane, honestly. I really don't know how it gets fumbled this bad. And I mean, Carson Hocevar just left. He saw what was the writing on the wall and pieced out. It might have been the smartest move he might have ever done on and off the track. So that might be his highlight of the year, honestly, with how bad he keeps doing in Cup, where he wrecks 12 times. But hey, he has 3 good runs. So, that might have been the smartest move he's done the whole year. So yeah, then we had Mama Smith in there, which I don't even know. The takes he has, the stars are the brightest. It's not about the driver, it's the teams. Remember those takes? Yeah, he was a part of it. That was funny. So yeah, it was just it just felt absurdly disorganized, and I don't know how it could be that hard to run. I mean, I guess it clearly must take some effort, because I don't know how. I really don't know how it got fumbled this badly. And it's just like, what? I mean, there's no way you can watch that and for the 1 hour and like 15 minutes I think they streamed, because Gary Owen streamed it for a little bit. I don't know how exactly like long it totally lasted for. It might have been like an hour and 15 minutes, but yeah, it was just nothing went right, and I don't really know what else to add to it. It was just an unfortunate, unmitigated disaster. And it really made like the Heat 3 Pro League stuff look better in comparison. And you never want that to be the case. Because when they did that first Charlotte race, that was horrible. They crashed and everything. I mean, at least they got to race each other. At least they got to race against each other. That never even happened. And just the amount of money that's on the line for all this was also just insane. And again, you're putting all these people that don't have experience with the game and throwing them into the wild, especially with a game like this where the driving model, depending on what track you go to, is pretty challenging. I mean, I thought it was challenging, and I was someone that, haven't played like a Heat game at least in like a year, and I was feeling out of the loop. Imagine putting someone that's had no experience on the sport, no experience on playing these type of games into it. I just can't believe it. I really can't. It's just, and if they wanted, like, I don't know. I don't know how you can look at it and try to find something good about it. It's just unfortunate how bad it was. And it doesn't really matter if they're like fans or not. Like, if they can have a good time, I mean, more power to them. But I kind of feel bad on the streamers though, because they're just kind of put into the wild. Some of them, at least. Some of them I feel bad. The one that was playing with this, driving the wheel with his face, I really can't take much of that. Like, I can't really, like, is that the image you want? I can tolerate the guy wheeling the thing back and forth and falling off. That's a good bit. I'll give you a little bit of a golf clap. I appreciate that more. Instead of, literally driving with your chin. That's more insulting. It's on a level of going, I hated it way back in the freaking the core days where IDK player was like, he was like picking his nose and then he backed out on the track and then got into me and not taking it serious. Like that's like the equivalent of it's like the equivalent of driving with your chin, which is not a good look. And if you're trying to promote the game, I mean, there has to be a balance. There has to be a way to do it. Again, maybe it's cringy to some people, but I don't know. I find a little bit of humor in the guy wheeling the thing, trying to keep the car controlled, and falls over. I mean, granted, considering how bad everything is, it's probably not a good look to really make it look worse. But like, shit, at least I can appreciate a little bit of, performance art, but not driving with your mouth. Maybe that's a me thing. I don't know, but most of them I feel pretty bad to be put in a situation. And it really kind of screams that there just wasn't much preparation for all this. And it's just a shame because, I don't know. It's frustrating. This game is a mixed bag of a lot of feelings for me. But yeah, this is like across the board. Not a good look. I don't know how you can spin it to be positive. I feel bad even making a video like this, really, because, I don't want to be that guy, but I just rather be honest. And I mean, hey, if I can add my name to the pot of just, get that voice out there, I mean, more, sure. But yeah, it was just unfortunate that it turned into something like this. For a concept that, at first, I was questioning, because when I think of creators, I think of the big name ones in the community. But the idea of going outside of that scope, that's fine. But it would be kind of neat to see everybody race each other and like have a good time with it. If you need assist on it, fine. But it just feels like they were just kind of thrown in, and I don't know. It's just crazy to me. So, I mean, that's my general thoughts on it. I don't want to drag this out really any longer than it needs to, because I feel like this is kind of, long enough as is. But yeah, this just yeah, I can't believe it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a shame because and I guess one more thing too before I end the video is just really emphasize how bad online is in this game. I haven't even really experienced a whole lot myself, but I watched Michael Maroots play. I watched Disco Inferno race online a bit. It's almost always a shit show, and I know it's not really a shock, but that's like the worst way to throw someone that has no concept of throwing them into the wild of an random public lobby to the cat to even if someone's very used to playing the game, you're not racing on in an online lobby. Imagine if they went to the Chicago street course and everybody misses turn one and crashes. Is that really the look you want to make the sport out to be, as a complete joke? The only way that this would have worked is literally if everybody is together in a controlled environment, race at a very simple track that doesn't take that much skill. Literally, Daytona and Talladega could be like a very easy one, or a mile and a half that doesn't have too much off throttle time. Something very, I would say, entry level. That would be acceptable. You don't want to throw them at. I think one of them was racing at Bristol, and I thought that's where the event was at first when I saw it on Twitter or something, but that wasn't the case. It was just a random public lobby. But yeah, it's just not gonna. It just makes it look horrible. And I know probably me saying that like all this right now. They're not gonna like that. But I'd just rather be honest and just tell you as I see it. I can't spin this into a positive. So that's just my brutal thoughts, and I'd rather be honest. And I'll be fair as much as possible. I appreciate the driving model. I actually don't mind it. I don't mind the AI. The biggest problems are really just the pit logic is atrocious, and their in and out lap speed is just really frustrating. I can't in good faith give this that high of a rating of a game, but at least I can enjoy it to some capacity, which is wild for me to say, but like at least I can enjoy some of it. So they were supposed to run Phoenix, I guess, right? Somebody's looking at my chat. So if that's the case, I don't know if that's even really a good track for them as like an entry level thing, because that takes a bit of there's a little bit of skill with that, learning to brake at the right moments and being careful, because in 1 and 2, it's just a wide corner, so there's just a lot of just off throttle time to kind of manage. And in 3 and 4 is kind of a little bit. Even that is. I wouldn't even consider that entry level. Like that, I feel like that would be too difficult for them. If I'm thinking like, okay, everybody's racing for if they're so new to the game, I would not throw them at Phoenix. I would literally throw them at Daytona, Talladega, Echo Park. Those would kind of be the tracks I would think of. And especially if there's just casuals, the casuals are going to know the drafty tracks, as they call them now, or whatever they call them now. Those would be the entry levels like to be recommended. I guess Phoenix is like, they're racing there this weekend, so that's the most relevant, but you really like they would need to like practice. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was that's why they ran to Phoenix, but this is something that they should have done honestly last week or something, or 2 weeks ago for Talladega, if they wanted to throw this in this badly. So yeah, I don't know. This was just yeah, it's just a shame it became like this. It didn't need to be this bad, and I just think with a little bit of organization, getting everybody get everybody in a goddamn Discord call or Zoom or whatever, so there's communication. I guess I don't know if you can do 30 people at a time; might be too chaotic. But one party of do like a party of 6 at a time or 7 at I don't know. I feel like it would have been so much more possible. I'm sure there's so many what ifs you can think about trying to fix this, but this is just the cards we're dealt with. This is what we have. This is what we have seen. So that's really it. I'm done. So yeah. I guess good luck to them the next time they do this. I can't get any worse, right? It has to be a little bit better. So I guess we'll see if there's an arc and they get better. I don't know. We'll find out.